I will talk on GitHub Actions. Serverless Guru helps company innovate faster, reduce operational overhead, and streamline application development by using serverless technology. So if you have anything Serverless Guru always here for you. About me, I'm Jaimit. I'm serverless developer at Serverless Guru, AWS community builder, and serverless and technology enthusiastic. Always happy to create the contents. So I'm always sharing stuff on LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. So you can follow me if you want. Today's agenda, I will start with GitHub Actions. So I will thoroughly give audience idea about what is exactly the GitHub Action, how GitHub Actions work. I will also give idea about what are the different components of GitHub Action. Then we have some demo how we will deploy SAM serverless application to the GitHub Action by using GitHub Actions, and then we will take it forward. So first thing is, what is GitHub Actions? Most of we see like nowadays, a lot of project source code already hosted onto the GitHub.com repository. So that is why the GitHub Actions are already giving a great developer experience, and it is always rock when you have if you have a repository already hosted on GitHub.com. So GitHub Action always help to automate, customize, and execute your software development workflow right within your repository in the GitHub.com. So it is not just providing a CI/CD workflow solution, but there are a lot of different kind of custom workflow you are able to implement easily, quickly, with great developer experience without need of any DevOps work within a GitHub Actions by using GitHub Actions. So this is just a basic idea about the what is exactly it and how GitHub Actions works. So if you have a repository in the github.com, so that will be a Git repository. So there are, as we know, like in core part of Git, whenever we have a Git repository, they are already giving us a lot of hooks, right? So hooks is kind of like GitHub turn into that event. So as soon as some event occurs on your repository, you have a GitHub repository. So as soon as some event occur on your repository, say for example pull request or some push request or some issue or created or something, like some kind of those kind of event occurs, it will trigger different workflow. So that workflow will have a multiple jobs. Like here I represent like two jobs, job 1 and job 2. So as soon as some event occurs, it will trigger the jobs. And those jobs will run on runner. So there are in single, say for example, in single workflow, we have two jobs. So those two jobs will run on different runner 1 and runner 2. Runner here, this runner is means like a GitHub server. So that will execute these different jobs. And every jobs will have a different steps, and steps will have some actions or a script, shell script. So in next steps, I will show in detail like how these components are working. So these are the different component of the GitHub action. So whenever you have a repository, say for example, you have multiple team member working on your GitHub repository in github.com, and if you want to implement any kind of workflow, like you want to implement CI/CD pipeline, or if you want to implement some different kind of workflow, then it is a really great developer experience. No need to do any DevOps work. Only within your GitHub repository, just you need to create .github/workflow folder, and you just need to put this. You just need to put the YML file. That's it. So in that YML file, you need to tweak the things as per the workflow you need. So here I given an idea about different component of the GitHub action workflow YML file. So generally, whenever you are creating any YML file within .github workflow folder, that will have a name of your workflow, and then it will have some event. And as soon as those events trigger, so here I just given a basic example of as soon as some event occurs on, say for example, push event occurs on main branch, or a pull request event occur on main branch, it will trigger these jobs. So this is a like workflow is a complete these things, and event is particular event occur on the GitHub repository. and it will trigger these jobs, and there in within a one workflow there are multiple jobs like unit testing, then we have a build and deployment, those kind of things. So here I just represent one jobs to demonstrate what is exactly the job is, and job will have a multiple steps, and if a single job will run on particular one runner. If you have multiple jobs, it will run on different runner. So you are also able to run job sequential or a parallel as you want. Depends on your workflow needs. So here I just represent like runner means I am taking like Ubuntu latest. So there are it is also possible to run different platform or a different OS like Windows or Mac OS or anything. And here I just represent steps, like what exactly the steps is. Steps means like within a particular step there are multiple actions. So you are able to run some shell script command, or you are able to run a actions. Actions means like it is a kind of reusable workflow, so that if you have some workflow you implemented that is reusable, then you are able to use that as an action within a GitHub Actions. There are a lot of ready to use workflow available in GitHub Action marketplace, so that we are easily able to like deploy application to AWS ECS, or we are easily able to deploy application to Azure. Even we are able to deploy application on GCP, or as per our need we are able to implement many different kind of workflow. Apart from CI/CD, there are possible to implement other kind of workflow as well. So this is just a basic idea about what is exactly the GitHub Action. In this demo, I will quickly show like how the things work. Like say generally in the project there will be a GitHub repository, and someone create a issue and assign to the contributor. So as soon as we are working on some new feature, we will create some feature branch from main branch, and as soon as we are done with those work, we will just create a pull request into the develop branch, and we have some code review, and then if everything good, we will merge that pull request to the develop branch. So it will auto trigger the CI/CD GitHub Actions pipeline, and that GitHub Action pipeline workflow will do unit test, build, and deploy. So here we will see this in action, like auto deploy. As soon as someone merge the feature branch into the develop branch, it will auto deploy to the dev, and we will also see how the manual deployment work as a part of production deployment. So in this is a one GitHub repository we already set up here, and in this repository we already have I already check out this repository in my local itself. So this repository having already in this particular, if we see code level, that we are going to deploy SAM application. Like we have a few APIs like get all item, get by ID, and put item APIs that is doing some DynamoDB operations. So this API is implemented in SAM framework, and we are going to deploy this application by using GitHub Actions for just demonstration purpose. So I'm not going much into this application detail, but we have this thing set up, and within this .github folder, we have a workflow folder, and within that workflow folder we have tier 2 workflow, deploy to dev and deploy to production. So if we have like before I am jumping into this explanation of this particular workflow, let me show here in the GitHub UI. In github.com, if you have a repository over there in the GitHub, when if you want to set up any GitHub Action workflow, you need to go in Action. So here I already have some workflow setup like deploy to dev and deploy to production, and some custom action demo. But if you did not have a setup this, then in that case you will not see this screen. You have this new workflow button. So as soon as you do workflow, that this GitHub Action have a nice things like they are easily discovered the relevant workflow to your code base. Like if you have a Node.js code, or if you have a Java code or any other code, based on your code base in the repository, it will auto discover some suggestion for the workflow So you are easily able to bring particular workflow. There are also simple workflow available, like which we see before, like this simple workflow. So you are easily able to start with some simple workflow, like you can choose some simple workflow. Here you can see like some this event occurring, so you can modify this, like if you want to do some event operation based on push or pull request, you can do like this manual workflow. And then some jobs, you are even able to add any actions from this marketplace, like here you are easily able to search different actions from the marketplace, and you are easily able to copy those kind of things in your final workflow file you are building. Okay, so this kind of this there are a lot of actions available in, I mean, ready to use action available from the community. So you can see like there are deployed to Azure, and then there are same way like there are AWS relevant actions also available, like you can deploy to Amazon ECS. These are default, but AWS also providing different workflow, different GitHub Actions ready to use. Same with many different third party like Azure, GCP, and all those are and many other third party provider for a different workflow. Like if you want to send some Slack notification to the some channel, those kind of things also we are able to do. So a lot of things possible to implement as a part of workflow. But here we are seeing like CI/CD pipeline, like how this deploy to dev and deploy to production happening as a part of this demo. So here I have already created these two demo deployment workflow, deploy to dev and deploy to prod. So as a part of this, only I just created two workflow dot GitHub workflow. We have a deploy to dev. So in this particular deploy to dev, I have put this actions. So as soon as someone push the changes to the develop branch, it will trigger this workflow deploy to dev. And this is just a permission we set just to read operation on the repository, just a security purpose. And here we are triggering some jobs, like as soon as this event occurs, we are triggering these jobs. We have two jobs for now, just demonstration purpose. It will do the unit testing, and at the end, if unit testing, this unit testing job is if or success, then it will trigger deployment, like build-in deployment. And you can see like this deployment job is dependent on unit tests. So we said here needs, so we are running sequential job instead of default it is running parallel. So as soon as unit test job is success, then it will trigger the deployment job. So this needs is for just a sequential purpose. So this unit testing, so as a part of this job, we are doing different steps. So this first step is like a common step generally required in any kind of workflow, like action checkout. So this action checkout, and here in whenever we are using any actions, so in that case we are just giving version, like specific version if you want to use. So this will just check out your repository code into the runner workspace, like GitHub Actions runner workspace, and so that we are able to do different operation on that particular code. So this generally this checkout actions always required. And this thing is just for setting up the Node.js specific version. This action is for setting up the Node.js, and then we have this some operation for caching Node.js module. So we need not need to do build every time. And here we just doing like npm install and doing test running test cases. Okay, so as soon as test cases success, it will go to this build these jobs, and this job will run on separate runner. You can see we are using this Ubuntu latest. We are able to use Windows or Mac OS, or an that is the supporting by the GitHub. Even we are able to create a custom runner as well if we want. Here I also I same way, like here we are checking out repository, and we are doing this Node.js building operation, and then at the end we are installing dependency, and here we are just doing main thing, this SAM deploy. So before doing SAM deploy, we are using this AWS actions, like this is AWS action set up SAM, because we want to deploy SAM application. So this step is important for us. Like here we are setting SAM CLI. So this AWS action SAM setup SAM will set up the AWS SAM CLI, and this another action. This is AWS action. So this AWS action configure AWS credentials. So we for doing SAM deployment and build, we need this AWS credentials. So I already set up one IAM user. Those we are passing those detail here. So that those detail we are setting in the setting secret manager. So in setting of your repository, admin user can go to the secrets, and in action admin user able to set this repository level secrets. So these are the AWS access key and secret key we are storing at repository level secrets. So those we are accessing here as a part of this AWS action of configuring AWS credential. So that will give us some access to create a cloud formation resource during deployment. And so as a part of this step, like we are doing SAM build and SAM deploy. So we are creating stack stage wise, like production and development. So this is just an idea about SAM way for production. We have this SAM step, but what is here different is like we have also created environment. In this action, we have this environment like production and dev. So we associated this environment with particular deployment steps. Like here we have a dev environment associated, and this for production deployment we have this for production deployment we have associated environment of production. And also this for production flow cases, we are passing the stage, like we are setting this environment variable, that is we are passing stage production. So during SAM deployment, we are creating a stack name accordingly, like dev or production. And also we have this workflow. You can see like dev workflow triggering automatically as soon as someone push changes on dev branch. But this deploy to production workflow will trigger only manually. So here we using that workflow dispatch. So that means it will trigger manually. And here we have associated environment production with the deploy in the production workflow. Why? Because in production workflow, we set this restriction. So in GitHub action, we are able to create different environment like prod, dev, or staging, whatever we want. So here I created dev and production, and in production environment, I put some restriction, like we are able to do environment protection rule. Like I added a review required. So whenever someone deploy to production environment, that need to approved by these users. Like I given permission to me and Alvin. So this user only able to approve those deployments to the production. Without that, it will not deploy. Same way, I also added branch level restriction. Like you are able to only deploy this particular branch to a production environment. So those kind of restriction we are able to do at environment level. And this environment option only available if you have a public repository or if you have a GitHub Enterprise version. If in private repository without GitHub Enterprise version, this option is not available. Okay, so this is just we are associating those environment with particular jobs, so that it will restrict when we do. So this is just the idea about those code level workflow files. So let's see in the action. And now I'm into the action, and I already have this code ready. And let me just create one new features just for a demonstration purpose. So at the moment I am in master main branch. So I am going to one task feature branch. So I am creating some changes. I am doing some changes in this repository. I mean, I from main branch I created one new branch. Say for example, feature/task1. So for a demonstration purpose, I am doing some changes in this particular code base. Okay, so for now, say for example, in get all items, I am just changing one line just for a demo purpose. So as soon as I will change and push the changes and create pull request, after merge it should trigger the deployment flow. So here I am just changing, just for a demonstration purpose, I am just changing few things in this particular API. So I am just committing this file. Okay. So here I am just pushing those changes to the task one. So I am just pushing those changes to the task one, whatever changes I done. So now I am going to pull request. If you can see action, so far there are yesterday's action, so no any actions today. So we will see that in action. So I have already pushed my changes in task one, feature/task one. So now I am creating pull request from task ones to develop branch. Okay. So this is I just done one line change. So I'm just creating a pull request. Even during creating a pull request, you are able to add the reviewer. As a part of creating pull request, here you are able to add the reviewer if you want to add someone from your collaborator team, like contributor team. So once they do the review, like they are, if you add as a reviewer, they will just open this pull request and they can do code review. If they go to the file, they are able to do the review and approve it. Right now I am owner, so I am not able to approve, but reviewer will do the approval for this particular pull request. So as soon as they will do approve and merge this pull request, so let me merge it. Okay, so this is just merged into the develop branch, so it should trigger this pipeline. You can see this pipeline is just triggered now. So right now in my cloud formation, there are only these two stack. So it will create a new stack for a SAM application for a 3 APIs. So this is running. So if you can see like unit testing is already success and deployment is currently running. In unit testing, these are the different steps run which we already see in the code level before. In that particular deployment flow, like we see this different step, unit testing and all. So this unit test run, and in test cases, all test cases are passing. If any test case will not pass, like if any test case will fail, it will not go to the deploy step. Right now all the test cases pass, so it is go to the deploy step. And this deployment is also showing us like all the details. Even we are able to search out the any logs if you want. We are able to view any different logs from this particular all the steps are running. So right now SAM deployment is running, build, and then it will deploy it. Okay, so it will take few minutes. And once it will done, meanwhile let me create the pull request to the main branch from a develop. So from a develop, I am creating pull request to main branch. So this new changes will go from develop to main branch. I am merging those changes. So this develop changes is already merged to main branch, but it will not trigger this production deploy to production workflow because we put it manually. We given this event like workflow dispatch, so it means that it will we are only able to trigger that manually. Okay, so let me meanwhile this job is running, let me trigger this. I think it's about to finish. Okay, so meanwhile this action running, let me trigger this prod deployment. So for deploying to production, we are running this workflow manually, so we need to run workflow. So I am doing that workflow running, so it will show here as soon as it will run. So this deploy to production is triggered. Here you can see unit testing is running. As soon as it will reach to deploy, it will stop and it will ask for a review, like because production is only get deployed after approval, because we put here in production case we attached here environment production, and for that we put the environment level restriction. Without approval it will not deploy. So you can see this action is at running, and that is relevant to deploy to dev. I'm showing parallelly, so we will get finished demo quickly. This deploy to production, you can see like unit testing is done, and all test cases passes. But if you see here, it is stopped because it is request your review to deploy to prod. So whatever user in environment level, you have set different users, like I and Almir have this access for approving. So until these users don't approve this, it will not get deployed to production. Okay. So I even those users will also get email, like those users will get email. You can see like I get this email recently. So deploy to prod is waiting for your review. So those reviewer will get this email, and they are able to go jump into that particular pipeline, and they can review and deploy. So as soon as they approve and deploy, it will deploy to production. So that is approval process. And this approval process will trigger now. Okay, so you can see like the deployment is now running because it is approved by reviewer, and also this deployment to dev is also done. If you see here in SAM deployment, it will have at the end some API endpoint. So that is API endpoint is running. Okay, I'm not going much detail into the API thing, but I'm going to show you the deployment things. So here you can see like this new SAM cicd demo dev stack is created, and as a part of this stack there are 3 Lambda function also created. Yeah, so these 3 Lambda function also created, and also API gateway things created. So this way we are able to deploy to dev on pull request merge, as well as deploy to production after review approval. Those kind of things we are able to easily do quickly able to do with the GitHub Actions. So this is end-to-end demonstration. And another thing is like if you want to, there are a lot of actions available in the marketplace. If you see that there are So in GitHub Action Marketplace, there are a lot of action available. You can see like this, there are a lot of time different action available relevant to security scanning, relevant to monitoring, relevant to CI/CD stuff. So even you are able to do any kind of third party. AWS is also providing many actions for deploying to ECS or deploying to many actions. Even you are able to create your own actions. Okay, so say for example, if you want to create some custom things, so this is just demo regarding that custom action demo. So here I just simply put one custom action. So that is just a basic demo perspective, considering the time constraint. So this custom action demo here, I just put a basic things like this is a custom action demo, means I am creating my own custom action, okay, by using JavaScript. So here I am put this event workflow dispatch manually. So it is manually option. And I just hello world jobs will trigger, and as soon as I will run this workflow manually, it will trigger this hello world job. And in this job I already created here one manual workflow, so I'm using that my own workflow. You can see like my repository hello world JavaScript action, and I'm passing greetings name my name. So this is the input parameter we are passing, and that workflow, this custom action will give a output parameter. So at the end we are getting these steps, hello and ID, this outputs giving a time. So these steps, hello, the ID and outputs of this particular steps, we are using time from that. So this is a custom GitHub action I created. and that we are able to run it. So if we see the custom action, here is the code for custom action. So in custom action, whenever if you want to implement any custom action by using JavaScript, you need to mainly first create this action.yml file. This action.yml file, you need to specify like what are the inputs. Here you can see who greet, so that is the input parameter. We are just setting like required things and default things, and what is the output we want from this particular action. So we are outputting time and we are inputting who to greet. This is just a simple demo perspective, and we are run using node.js 16. Okay, and that will run this particular file index.js. So whatever logic, main logic you want to run, that is inside index.js. So these are two main library. There are GitHub Action already providing us a SDK, and many ready to use library to implement a custom GitHub Actions. So these are core. This one important library is the Action Core and like Action GitHub. So this core library just to get like get a context input and output things, and this GitHub Action library is for getting SDKs for just doing any GitHub API operation. Like if you want to say, for example, someone doing pull request and you want to labeling those pull requests properly, so you are able to do GitHub API operation as well by giving a GitHub token in the input or kind of things. So you can see like in this workflow we are passing input who to greet, and we are calling this repository. So that is this same repository within a my name, and we are passing here who to greet. So here we are getting this parameter by using this library like get input who to greet. So we are getting that value, and at the end we are out, like after that we are outputting this core library set output time. So that will be available here, like we are getting step hello output time, so that will be available in the output. So here like this is just a simple demo, but you are able to do any kind of third party or GitHub operation, and you are able to implement complex things as well. So same way by JavaScript, this is a custom action, but you are able to do same thing by Docker as well, container Docker things. So this is so if you run this workflow, let me run it quickly. So it will greet the my name, because whatever name I am passing here, it will greet just those things. So I am running this custom action demo. It will quick only. So it is triggering hello world. You can see like hello world jobs, and within a hello words there are few steps. Like we have this hello world action step, and we have this get the output time. So in hello world action step we are greetings like in our code base we are greeting hello xyz. So if we see in the code level in actions, like here we are doing the console log hello and whatever name we are passing in who to greet, so that we are passing here. So that is displaying here, and same way like we in output we are giving time. So that will be in another step, that time we are whatever output parameter we are displaying, the time was in GMT. So like step hello output times, and that we are sending in the core set output. Same way we are able to do like GitHub API operation, many complex operation and all those things, and third party operation and many things. So GitHub Action give us a flexibility to implement anything. So that's it from my side for a demo. So as we already see like demo and things are very easy to set up with the GitHub Actions, and that is a developer perspective. So it is a great developer experience if you are new to the CI/CD, and if you want to quickly build your CI/CD pipeline, GitHub Action is your option. Okay, so it will give a great developer experience. You need to just add one YML file and you are done. It is also fast growing CI/CD launch in a few years back, and having your even work in open source market, like whenever your code hosted on GitHub Actions very quickly. There are also, if we see the free plan, it is always free for public repository, and also like for a GitHub free plan for a private repository they are giving 2000 build minutes. So that is good for anyone to getting started, even no cost for pipeline compared to the code pipeline if we see. So this is easily any developer easily able to start by using these things. If we see the pricing criteria. This also there are nice action marketplace available and a lot of community members sharing their custom actions. So that is easily able to integrate with any public cloud provider like GCP or Azure or anyone. If we are able to do any kind of workflow, even we are able to send email on particular action failure or any kind of things we are able to implement through custom actions or by using action which is already implemented built within a GitHub. So that is good. Like your actions, everything, like all the workflow visible properly within your GitHub UI. So that would be a awesome developer experience comparatively. It is supporting all the different platform, Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. So you have a good build testing platform, and you are able to create your own runner as well. Uh, there are multiple workflow templates already available. So that is also one plus point. Like you are able to do any kind of things like code security or monitoring things or your CI/CD things and many different operations. And there is a strong integration with third-party tools and cloud providers. So that is good things. Like they are giving also good kind of settings like environment level settings. There is a organization level settings, environment level settings, as well as repository level settings for a secret storing and all those things, well organized, considering the different third party integrations. So like code pipeline is stick with the AWS ecosystem, but this will be flexible to integrate with any kind of third party tools and cloud providers. So they are also giving setting accordingly to manage the secrets and all those things, environment level, organization level, or repository level. So that is good thing. Also that is supporting multi containers. Like you are able to easily deploy by using container, docker, docker, and all those things. Like you are easily able to deploy through container theme system as well, comparatively. Okay. So this is just all points I just want to highlight.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, thanks so much, Amir and Jamit. That was a fantastic breakdown. I think the recording is going to be something that people want to go back and definitely watch, and we'll make sure to clip it up and put it on YouTube so that everyone can kind of go through it at their own pace too. Because I feel like y'all jumped into code, into like the smallest details, and like anybody that's thinking about using, even building a cicd is probably going to find this like super useful versus like something that's just like very high level and just gives like a general idea for what it does. Y'all went into like the raw, like deepest level of all this stuff.